Man, I don't need to send the devil after this guy. He's already got one in him. Give him an assignment. So now Satan says, hypocrisy. All right? Gives him a new assignment. And he comes with hypocrisy, and fortunately you agree, and oh, here you go. So, curses. All right? You can break them, just based on being a Christian. Just end the assignment, whatever it is. But full deliverance means you need to cast the devil out too. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. By the way, to talk about this distinction between authority and power, how do we grow in power? How does any Christian grow in power?
Knowledge.
Okay, knowledge of what?
The Lord.
Knowledge of the Lord. Okay? But is it just knowledge?
Obedience.
Huh?
Obedience.
Okay. Now, when I combine knowledge and obedience, what does God give?
Grace.
That eventually, right before the grace. When I combine obedience and knowledge, God gives either U and R, or U, N, D, E, understanding, otherwise called a revelation. When I couple obedience with knowledge, God gives a revelation. He gives understanding. The word that encompasses all of that is called wisdom. Wisdom is the knowledge of God with understanding. All right? So, that's why I grow in grace. I grow in the Word, and as I do the Word, I grow in power. To use Rex earlier, that he went through Galatians 2. He said, the life I lead, it's not me that lives, but Christ that lives in me. Well, that's what's supposed to be happening. You should be dying, and Christ should be growing in you. You should be dying, Christ should be growing in you. Right? So, take this as a literal Christ and put Christ in you.
Amen. Amen.
Put him in you. I mean, put him in you. He said, man must not live by bread alone, but by every word. Not some. Every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. So I grow in grace, I grow in power, as I put more power in you, literally. Real simple. Curses. We talk about sins. That's a big overarching umbrella. Go to 2 Corinthians 10. Start with the third thing we have to get delivered from, the evil that we have to get delivered from. 2 Corinthians 10. I'll read verse 3 through 6. 2 Corinthians 10. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, not natural, not physical, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imagination and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Let's go back. It says, it's making a comparison. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Okay? So, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. So the third category of evil we have to be delivered from are strongholds. Verse 5 then tells us what strongholds are. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bring into captivity every thought to the obedience of the word. Bring into captivity every thought to the word. So a stronghold are evil thoughts and evil thought constructs. Evil thoughts and evil thought constructs. Okay? You know, the things are built in my mind. You know, the buildings in my mind. In the Old Testament, they were called high places. The children of Israel were often reprimanded of God for building high places or letting high places remain. high places were placed to do what? Worship an idol. So, if I have a stronghold, I have a place in me where the devil sits. Either directly or indirectly, I've built up a throne to that particular devil. Okay? Curses, sins, now strongholds. You can certainly read on our website that there are 7 types of strongholds. The first is the most basic, false information. I may not see you for the next 50 years, but if I give you information today that's false and you believe it, I control the rest of your life. You see that? If I give you false information today that you believe, are you with me? I never ever see you again. I got you. Are you with me? False information. All right? Well, information, and since I'm talking about a computer consultant, you understand this analogy. That's just data. Data don't do much. Right? Alone. All right? Alone. I got to do something with the data. I got to process it. Are you with me? That's called thinking. Now here's the problem. If garbage in, garbage out. I can talk to a computer. He understands exactly. You know what I'm saying? Garbage in, garbage out. Okay? I don't care how good your processes are. If the data is bad, the output has to be bad. Are you with me? So if I fed you false information, what can I automatically say about your thinking? It also is false thinking. Right? Now, if my thinking, if the columns aren't turning correctly, when it spits out the widget, what can be said about the widget that it spit out? It also has to be false. But what comes out of thinking? Decisions and judgments. Okay, there's one more we'll get to that in a second, but these two are the anchor. Now, I'm going to separate those. Actually, judgments are just another form of decisions, but I want to split them because this thing of decisions are decisions I've made about myself. Think of judgments as things I've decided about other people. Okay? So they're all false. False decisions. I've made false decisions about myself. I think I'm great. I've also made false judgments against other people. Because I start with false information, false thinking, has to produce false decisions, false judgments. But once I make a decision, if I'm a man of my word, well then I live my decisions, right? I believe. I believe all that. I believe all the stuff my factory has produced is real. So now I'm operating with a false belief. It sets me up to receive a whole belief system that's wrong. Because I've been primed. See? I've been primed. So when the person comes and gives me the false belief system, I say, wow, that's golden. That's, woo! Never realizing, well, actually, why it seems great to you, it's a lie because you started with a lie. But you didn't know it was a lie, so that's why this seems to be the truth. Are you with me? Come on now. Jesus said to the Pharisees, he told them, their father, the devil, he says he's the father of lies. And he says, you don't know my word because you're not of God. You can't receive the truth because there's no truth in you. Which means if lies are in me, then all I'm going to accept as the truth are lies. Now, we've been saying all along, a belief is not a belief unless it's done. So of course now, with our false belief, we now put into practice false practices to solidify the false belief. Okay, I start doing things to validate my false belief. Look at anyone who's part of the Nation of Islam. Bean pies, black suits, whatever. There's certain specific things they do, right, to validate, unfortunately, their false belief. Yeah. Are you with me?
Yeah.
I had Joel's